Namaste, Jai Bharat. This video might take a little long. This concerns Pakistan's claim that some people in Pakistan wants to claim that they are Indus people. It's very interesting, very strange. The very concept of Pakistan begins after 47's partition from Bharat. Otherwise, there used to be no Pakistan. And that if they talk about people, they are focusing on Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. They think there is an Indus Valley, which is wrong. They claim that they are Indus people. The whole thing comes with the Basant Panchami festivities, which Islam has banned in Pakistan, Pakistani Punjab. But then very recently, this time, they have celebrated Basant Panchami with Kite Festival. Well, Gujarat Kite Festival is very, very popular. It's with Uttarayan. And there is very serious contradiction within Pakistani claims. As it is, Pakistan is full of contradictions. On the one side, they wanted to claim about religion. They wanted to project themselves as the archetype Muslims in the world, archetype Islamic, they call it as culture, which is not in the world. They try to process it in that way. And then suddenly, after the Basant Panchami, there are many people in Pakistan who says they are Indus people. Sindhu, actually. There was an archaeological mistake which archaeologists later corrected. They called the Harappan civilization as Indus Valley civilization because Harappa was the first site appeared to the archaeologists. So they thought it is Indus Valley civilization because it was at the bank of the river Sindhu. But actually, I refer you to Michel Danino's, the Frenchman, Michel Danino's book, The Lost River on the Trail of Saraswati, which was published by Penguin in 1910. Michel is a friend of me otherwise. This book was published and that he had an intensive work. Though that work does not cover the southern part of Bharat because he only worked up to river Tapi, because at that time in 2010 the southern part, Tamil Nadu, Kijadi excavation sites were not known at that time. That comes afterwards. Otherwise, he would have definitely, I'm sure, included Kijadi as the Vedic site. So he talks about an area of 1,80,000 per square kilometers, ranging between Tapi river in the Maharashtra Gujarat border to Sindhu river. Now the settlements, if it is Sindhu Nagarikata, that is if it is Sindhu civilization, which they call it as Indus civilization, then the settlement should have been on either side of river Sindhu. But it is not to the northern part of river Sindhu. It is only found at the southern banks of river Sindhu. And then later archaeologists found that the civilization is between on either side of river Saraswati. River Saraswati has dried up but still flowing underground, as the satellite images demonstrate. And on the either sides of river Saraswati, the settlements took place, which is Vedic settlements, which should have been aptly called as Saraswati settlement, Saraswati civilization, which is to the south, to the extreme south. Now, presently, it's up to Tamil Nadu in the southernmost part, and to the north to the river Sindhu. So, it is not Indus civilization. In reality, it is Saraswati civilization, which is on either sides of the river Saraswati. The Vedas refer river Saraswati as the mighty flowing river Saraswati. All the settlements were there. Then later on, archaeologists compromised the name Indus Valley because they have a convention of giving the first excavated sites named to a civilization. They call it as Harappan civilization. That's fine. Harappa was the first excavated site, but actually it is Saraswati civilization, because settlements are on either sides of the river Saraswati, which is about 180 square kilometers, which as per Michel's book, but then it should be much more with the findings of similar settlements elsewhere. To decide that the settlements have things in common or is on many points, because the plans of city, the sites of bricks, the structure of constructions, all these taken into consideration, you find all these 3,500 plus sites have things in common, which makes Saraswati civilization sensible. So if they claim they are Indus people, then they belong to Hindu Dharma. Now you cannot say Hindu Dharma is only 5,000 years old or 6,000 years old. It is with the time of Vedas, definitely pre-Vedic, so that otherwise Vedas would not have come into existence. Definitely pre-Vedic, and the period of Vedas cannot be really ascertained as this many thousands of years, because though see, the Vedas talk about river Saraswati several times. It means the time when Saraswati river was flowing with full might could have been roughly the time of the evolution of Vedic sites. And there are some 3,000 sites plus not yet excavated. All sites are not yet excavated, only some sites are excavated. And there are three stages: early Vedic, middle Vedic and later Vedic. In Lothal is later Vedic period. Dholavira is in Gujarat. Now, as per Michel's book, 80% of the Vedic sites are in today's Gujarat. It means that the area where Vedic civilization flourished is by and large in today's state of Gujarat. How can Punjab or Pakistanis claim that they are Indus people? They can't call themselves as Indus people. They should be able to call themselves as Vedic people. Yes, it's true. Their ancestors must have been Vedic people. Previously, once upon a time, they were telling they are Arabs. Then they wanted to call themselves as Turks. Then they wanted to call themselves as coming from some other area. So they wanted to establish a Muslim connection, Islamic connection, either through Turkey or through Persia or through Arabs. No, Qasim has come long before with all those things. So because of this Islam religion, the Pakistanis are utterly confused. The moment they claim they are people of Sindhu, then they claim they are Hindus. They cannot deny the fact their ancestors were Hindus. If they wanted to claim their Sanskriti culture, then they have to undergo a lot of structural changes. Will they be accepting Pashupatinath? Pashupatinath is Pashupati literally would mean lot of animals, which is Shiva. Will they be Shaivites? Of course, Shaivism is very prominent in Kashmir. Kashmiri Shaivism is a Shaivism in its own class. It comes very close to Advaita, of Shankara's Advaita Vedanta, where Shiva is seen as Nidakara, Nishprapancha, etc., etc., etc. So the Pakistanis are in utter confusion when they claim they're Indus people. Let them claim they're Indus people. All right, claiming is one thing. Can they live as Indus people culturally? They can't. They may celebrate Basant Panchami, good. Punjabis celebrate it, but are they really Punjabis? That's my question. You write your language not in Punjabi script. You write your language in Persian script. The Kashmiris write their language in Persian script. No, when you claim something, there should be sufficient legitimacy. you claim to be a Punjabi, then you should be at least somewhere closer to an archetype Punjabi. There is a concept of archetype Punjabi. Do the Pakistani Punjabis have any Punjabi qualities as I see? I have been a student of Punjabi University. I spent my younger days, my graduation was from Punjabi University, is from Punjabi University. And the kind of Punjabis present in Punjab of Bharat, Hindus and Sikhs alike. And they have nothing to do with the Muslim Punjabis of Pakistan. Of course, there is a difference between the leftover Hindu Muslim Punjabis in Bharat. But the Muslim Punjabis of Pakistan had undergone very serious structural changes in thought, in thinking, living, behaving, attitude, the cousins' marriages, etc. The cousin marriages itself is a very, very, very demonstrating example that they have changed their Sanskriti. They don't have Sanskriti, there's culture. These two things are two different, I always say. Sanskriti is refined human existence based on the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition with an inbuilt longing towards a transcendental, whereas culture is only simply refined human existence without a knowledge tradition, without an inbuilt longing towards a transcendental. So you can call it as culture. So culture is entirely different from Sanskriti. So Pakistani Punjabis are different. They are less Punjabis, in fact no Punjabis, as we understand Punjabis in the real sense of the term, the archetype Punjabis. We can't think of Punjabi language written in Persian words, and therefore the language itself gets very adulterated. And they claim to be Indus people. You can speak, but you cannot live the Indus people's life because you have lost yourselves. It will take at least 3 to 4 generations for you to recapture what your ancestors had been on what you have lost. So, at least for the present, the whole claim is extremely funny, redundant and meaningless. Yes, yet I am happy that someone is there in Pakistan who claims to be Indus people, indirectly claiming to be Hindus, indirectly claiming to be Saraswati Valley people, indirectly claiming to be worshipping Pashupatinath, indirectly claiming to be Vedic people. It's good, but then you don't understand what you're claiming. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.